Imagine a sea of steel, concrete, and unstoppable machines stretching as far as the eye can see. That's what this site looks like. But behind the chaos, China is building something that could change the way the country moves goods forever. The country has become famous for building fast and building big, often completing projects in timelines that seem almost impossible elsewhere in the world. Bridges stretch across entire valleys, railways slice straight through mountains, and cities seem to rise from empty land almost overnight. But this time, what you're looking at is something very different. This is not a highway designed to move cars, not a railway built for high-speed trains, and not a dam holding back water for electricity. What you're seeing is China building its first major man-made canal in over 1,000 years. A project that feels ancient in concept, yet extremely modern in execution. And it's not being built on flat land or in an easy location. This canal is being carved through some of the most rugged terrain in southern China, cutting across mountains, hills, rivers, farmland, and long-established villages. Entire landscapes are being reshaped with precision. The project is called the Pinglu Canal, and it is one of the most ambitious infrastructure efforts China has launched in recent decades. Once completed, it will fundamentally change how goods move inside the country and how China connects its inland regions to the global economy. China's long history with canals. To understand why this canal matters so much, you first need to understand China's long and complicated relationship with waterways. More than 1,000 years ago, China built one of the most important engineering projects in human history, the Grand Canal. Stretching over 1,700 kilometers, it connected the fertile agricultural regions of southern China with the political and administrative capitals in the north. For centuries, the Grand Canal served as the backbone of China's internal trade. It allowed grain to flow from food-producing regions to densely populated cities and government centers. It also moved construction materials, soldiers, merchants, and ideas across vast distances. During the Sui and Tang dynasties, this canal played a crucial role in unifying China economically and politically, helping the empire function as a single connected system, rather than isolated regions. But after that golden age, major canal construction largely stopped. Over time, China shifted its attention toward land-based transportation. Roads expanded, railways spread, and eventually air travel took over long-distance movement. By the 20th century, modern transportation dominated national planning. Waterways slowly faded into the background, viewed as outdated or inefficient. For more than 1,000 years, no new large-scale, man-made canal was built in the country. So why revive this ancient idea now, in an age of high-speed rail and advanced logistics? The economic shift that changed everything. The answer lies in how China's economy has transformed over the past few decades. While the eastern coast remains a manufacturing powerhouse, China's growth is no longer limited to famous coastal cities like Shanghai, Shenzhen, or Guangzhou. Central and western provinces such as Chongqing, Guizhou, Sichuan, and Yunnan have rapidly developed into major industrial centers. These regions are packed with factories, steel plants, cement producers, coal mines, chemical facilities, and manufacturing hubs supplying both domestic and international markets. However, they all share one major disadvantage: distance from the sea. Getting goods from these inland regions to major coastal ports often requires shipping them over distances of 700 to 1,000 kilometers by truck or rail. That journey is slow, expensive, and energy-intensive. Rail lines are frequently congested, highways suffer from heavy wear, and trucking relies heavily on fuel. For heavy bulk cargo like coal, steel, cement, and grain, transportation costs can make or break profitability. Even small increases in fuel prices or delays can have major financial consequences for businesses operating on thin margins. Why water transport is the solution? China needed a solution that could move massive volumes of goods more efficiently, and water transport offers exactly that. Shipping by water uses roughly 1/5 the fuel per ton compared to road transport. It produces fewer emissions, lowers logistics costs, and reduces pressure on highways and rail networks. Waterways are especially effective for heavy cargo that doesn't require fast delivery but demands low cost and reliability. This is where the Pinglu Canal comes in. It brings water transport back into China's logistics system, not as a replacement for rail or road, but as a powerful complement that fills a critical gap. What exactly is the Pinglu Canal? The Pinglu Canal stretches approximately 134.2 kilometers, or just over 83 miles. It begins at the Shijin Reservoir in Guangxi Province and ends at the Xinjiang River, which flows directly into the Beibu Gulf. That final connection is what makes the canal so important. It creates a direct inland-to-sea route for goods produced deep inside southern and western China. Suddenly, landlocked areas that once relied entirely on trucks and trains gain access to international shipping lanes. What were once isolated industrial zones can now function as export hubs connected to Southeast Asia and global markets. Timeline, cost, and capacity. China officially began construction on the Pinglu Canal in August 2023. The total estimated cost of the project is around $10 billion, and completion is expected by 2026. Once operational, ships will be able to move from inland factories to international ports without ever touching a highway or railway line. This project is not about symbolism or visual impact. It's about solving a real, growing logistics problem that affects millions of tons of cargo every year. The canal is designed to handle vessels weighing up to 5,000 tons, which are commonly used for bulk goods. At full capacity, the Pinglu Canal is expected to carry more than 95 million tons of cargo annually. To put that into perspective, that is roughly the weight of 950,000 fully loaded freight train cars. It's an enormous shift in how goods will move across southern China. Why this canal is different from natural rivers? Unlike natural rivers, which are subject to flooding, droughts, and unpredictable seasonal changes, the Pinglu Canal is engineered from scratch. Every aspect of it is planned and controlled. Water flow, depth, width, and navigation systems are all designed for maximum efficiency and reliability. This level of control allows ships to move consistently throughout the year, regardless of weather patterns. It also reduces the risk of disruptions that often affect natural waterways, making the canal far more dependable for commercial use. The massive engineering challenge. Building a canal of this size is an enormous task, especially when the terrain is anything but flat. The Pinglu Canal cuts through mountains, hills, rivers, and densely populated rural areas. Roads have to be rerouted, bridges constructed, and entire sections of land reshaped. In some areas, engineers are excavating up to 13 million cubic meters of earth. That is enough material to fill more than 5,000 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Coordinating excavation, construction, and environmental protection across such a long and narrow corridor is a challenge in itself. Ship locks and elevation control. One of the biggest engineering challenges is elevation. Different sections of the canal sit at very different heights, making direct navigation impossible. To solve this, the project includes 3 massive ship locks that function like water elevators. These locks raise and lower vessels so they can move smoothly across elevation changes. The most impressive is the Tandeng lock, which will be the largest water-saving ship lock ever built. Traditional locks waste enormous amounts of water, but this one is designed to recycle most of it, dramatically reducing water loss. This is critical in a region that experiences seasonal droughts. A high-tech canal for the modern era. The Pinglu Canal is far from an old-fashioned waterway. It includes more than 90 bridges, over 40 kilometers of deep excavation, reinforced embankments, automated water control systems, and smart monitoring platforms. Thousands of workers and dozens of heavy machines operate around the clock. When completed, the canal will function more like a floating highway than a traditional canal, capable of handling large volumes of traffic efficiently and reliably. How it compares to Panama and Suez. The Pinglu Canal is often compared to the Panama Canal and the Suez Canal, but its purpose is very different. Panama and Suez connect oceans and reshape global shipping routes. The Pinglu Canal is designed to improve domestic efficiency. It doesn't compete on global sea traffic, but for China, it is just as strategically important as those canals are to their respective countries. How the canal will transform. Regional trade. Once operational, the Pinglu Canal is expected to cut shipping distances by up to 560 kilometers for some routes, saving an entire day of transport time. For heavy industries, these savings translate directly into lower costs and higher competitiveness. Cities like Liuzhou and Nanning, once far from major trade routes, now have the potential to become logistics hubs supporting regional and international trade. The rise of Beibu Gulf ports. Ports along the Beibu Gulf, including Qinzhou, Fangchenggang, and Beihai, are expected to see significant growth. Once considered secondary ports, they are now being repositioned as key players in China's southern trade corridor. Strategic and geopolitical advantages. Beyond economics, the canal strengthens China's internal resilience. By diversifying trade routes and reducing dependence on eastern ports, China gains greater control over its supply chains. The canal also strengthens trade links with Southeast Asia. Human impact and relocation concerns. Thousands of residents have been relocated to make way for the canal. While compensation has been offered, the loss of ancestral land and community has raised concerns, especially among older residents. Environmental challenges and safeguards. The canal passes through sensitive ecosystems. Engineers have built ecological corridors, water-saving systems, and real-time monitoring, but long-term oversight will be essential. Water supply and climate risks. The canal draws water from the Zijin Reservoir. During dry seasons, this could strain local resources, especially in a changing climate. The risk of underutilization. If industries fail to shift logistics toward water transport, the canal could operate below capacity. Maintenance and long-term management will be critical. Is the gamble worth it? China is taking a massive risk with the Pinglu Canal, but the potential payoff could be enormous. This project isn't just another construction effort, it's a bold mix of ancient engineering and cutting-edge technology. Automated locks, smart water systems, and real-time monitoring make this canal a modern marvel designed to solve real logistical challenges. For decades, inland provinces have struggled to transport heavy goods like coal, steel, and cement to coastal ports. Trucks and trains are slow, expensive, and energy-intensive. The Pinglu Canal offers a direct water route, cutting distances, lowering costs, and turning previously isolated regions into thriving trade hubs. The risks are real. Building through mountains, rivers, farmland, and villages requires relocating thousands of residents and managing environmental impacts. At $10 billion, it's a huge financial gamble. But strategically, it strengthens domestic trade routes, boosts regional economies, and connects China more efficiently to Southeast Asia. For China, the gamble could redefine trade forever. When the canal opens, likely by 2026, it will do far more than move cargo. It will reshape regional economies, redefine trade routes, and show how infrastructure can still change the world in the 21st century. The Pinglu Canal may never match the fame of the Suez or Panama Canals, but for China, it could be just as important.